She laughed. Ink barely dried on the divorce papers, and she laughed like she'd won, like I was the fool. Her nails tapped the mahogany table as she slid the final page across to the clerk. Scarlet lips curled, smug eyes avoiding mine. As if I didn't matter, as if I hadn't once been her everything. I just nodded to the judge, calm, controlled, because the real moment wasn't the signing. It was the reading. He cleared his throat. The judge adjusted his glasses, then read out the final declaration of assets, and in that breath, her words stopped, frozen, right there in her designer heels. I didn't even blink. 8 years. That's how long we were married. I met her at a gallery opening. She was sipping red wine barefoot in a sundress too expensive for someone who claimed to just love art. But I fell hard. She laughed like she meant it back then. Not like now. Not like that hollow little choco in court. We built a life. Or so I thought. I worked late nights, built my company from the ground up. She said she supported me. Said she understood. Turns out she just understood how to play the long game. The first crack. It wasn't dramatic. Not at first. Her phone lighting up at 23 a.m. A name I didn't recognize. She said it was a work friend. She said I was being paranoid. So I didn't push. I didn't scream. I watched. Then came the girls' weekends to Dubai. The late night whispers in the kitchen when she thought I was asleep. The sudden change in perfume, the locked phone, the shift in her eyes like she was already elsewhere. And finally, the charge on her joint card. A 5-star hotel in our city, one she didn't visit with me. I didn't confront her. I just took note. Pain turned to purpose. You don't confront a liar with noise. You corner them with silence. I made moves. First, I moved our money quietly, strategically. I created new holding companies, offloaded stocks, liquidated what needed to be seen, and hid what didn't. I transferred ownership of my intellectual properties, shifted trademarks, put my company under a trust, one she couldn't touch, even hired a forensic accountant to clean the trail. Next, I hired a PI. 3 weeks, that's all it took. Photos, receipts, videos. Her and the work friend, a tanned, chiseled gym rat who sold fake crypto seminars online. Real classy. They weren't subtle. She thought she was untouchable. I let her think that. Let her believe I was the broken one. The naive husband who'd never dare fight back. Meanwhile, I built my case. The moment she said she wanted a divorce, I agreed too quickly. That shook her. She expected begging, maybe a breakdown. Instead, I offered her tea. We filed amicably on paper, but the silence was a war zone. She assumed she'd get half. Half the house, half the business, half the future. She giggled with her lawyer during the first settlement meeting. Said she was happy to move on. She wore white to the final court date. White as if this was some kind of wedding. And then the judge began reading. Her smile stayed for the first few seconds. After thorough examination of financial disclosures and corporate structuring, it is concluded that the business in question is no longer under sole ownership, but held entirely by an irrevocable trust. She blinked. And therefore is not subject to division under the current marital assets. That was the first crack in her expression. Then he continued, the cars list, the house technically owned by my holding company, and I was simply paying rent. The bank accounts moved, clean, untraceable. The only liquid assets under my name, $42,000. That's all she was entitled to. Not half, not millions, just scraps. Her fingers went still. The laughter was gone. She opened her mouth, but no sound came out. Her lawyer leaned in, whispering, panicking. I didn't look at her. I looked through her. She tried to speak to the judge, to me, to God. I don't know. But I was done listening. She filed first, but I finished it. She cheated, but I destroyed the illusion. She wanted freedom. I gave her exactly that. Freedom without fortune. Freedom without comfort. Freedom without me. Outside the courthouse, I stood alone. She stormed past me, face pale, lips tight. No more smugness, no more laughs. She didn't even make eye contact, but I did. I watched every step she took away from me. Every shaky, humiliated breath, and I felt nothing but clarity. They always say revenge is a dish best served cold. They are wrong. It's best served legal, strategic, surgical, served with a signature and a smile. Let her laugh again. This time in a 2-bedroom rental with credit card debt and a gym rat who thinks Bitcoin is a personality. I keep building quietly, powerfully, alone. Because peace after betrayal isn't found in noise. It's found in the silence after a storm. And I've never heard silence sound so